So then now moving on, we have, spoken about Davido, and then Dami Crane, the old cringe, embarrassing stuff that he keeps doing, and hopefully he stops soon. Now, talking about the album rollout, another artist that is actually showing us that, you know what, Davido, it's not only you that can be intentional about your craft and your artistry. I can also do it, as to be Burna Boy.
Yep.
So now initially, last year was when we were supposed to get the album, No
Yep.
Signs of Weakness. And now let me quickly chip something in. I'm now beginning to think that maybe he didn't drop the album last year because he wanted to see what, how Davido was going to go about dropping his album. Then now see what he can do. Because I feel like if Burna Boy had dropped that album last year, it would have been just like a normal job. I won't see all this, No Signs of Weakness TV and all those extra stuff. That's my opinion, though.
I feel like at the end of the day, there's no strategy that is cast in stone.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just like, okay, when we roll out an album, we'll definitely have a plan, but certain things can change in between, right? Yeah. But I think for him, it was quite like a very smart move to actually wait. First, there was already like a Wizkid drop last year
there was
for the Mariah
Wizkid.
project. Then, of course, Davido teased that he was going to drop the project, extended the date further a little bit, but dropped the project. And I feel like, okay, I'm just going to wait to see, because he also understands that these names are also heavyweights. And there's no way that he's going to be able to really, really, really rival these guys if he actually drops a project the same time or in the same window as a Wiz or a David. So at the end of the day, I think it's actually really good for him, because when you look at the heavyweights that we talk about all the time that have dropped albums, Wizkid has dropped the Mariah album, David has dropped the 5 albums. So we're queuing up now to get the No Signs of Weakness. So he's well within the right time. And I feel like he's been able to learn a thing or two and to see, okay, how I'm able to strategize. I don't want to do things the same way, I've done it before or other people are doing it. Because No Signs of Weakness TV is so brand new. It's actually fresh. It's a fresh idea. And it's been really kicking. There's been a lot of things, happening around that semi-brand for Burna Boy. And I feel like there's so much more to come. If there's one person, again, that I know is very intentional about his craft and how everything has to be properly organized, it has to be Burna Boy. Let's take away his mom being his manager, which I feel, or who I feel is the perfectionist or a semi-perfectionist. Yeah. So, but that when you look at the Burna Boy brand and you look at him as a person, forget all the shenanigans, forget every other thing that he does to rile people up and do talk and nah. Burna Boy is a very, very careful person. He's very arty, if I have to put it that way. I mean, I remember the last album. I remember his last singles and how he was really rolling out the singles in the UK and everywhere in billboards, even in cars and trains and buses. You're seeing different, promotions, getting people to be very, very, very much aware that there's the Burna Boy in town. And when you look at all of these things, it shows a little bit more of intentionality. And that's what the fans want to see. That's what people want to see. That's what the big heavyweights and the the Afrobeat commentators want to see, that, okay, yes, we already have a movement that is budding and buzzing, but we need to also put the extra work into it, because that international global standard or status that we have actually achieved, we have to maintain it. So there's no dropping the ball. And I feel like Burna Boy is well within the right time to be able to show himself, to say, you know what, guys, you guys have had your own fair share. It's now the Burna time. So I feel like he's been actually doing so amazing with the rollout. If what we're seeing is in the initial stages of it, then what is to come might actually be mind blowing. Yeah,
that's actually very true. Now, yesterday he had the private listening party for the No Signs of Weakness album in the secret location in London. And one person that attended definitely was Gracie May, the music executive, that one time casted Wizkid and told us that Wizkid did not sell out the Tottenham Stadium. And now, she came out on X and she's like, wow, I need to just see you guys a bit. And then she's all about the No Signs of Weakness album. Who have listened to it. It's the Burna Boy we know, and the love with a few crazy surprises. Surprises we do not know. We don't know if there are still surprise features on the album that is not spoken about. And then, there's just this huge hype around the album that she's giving it already. And I'm like, okay, but what if Burna Boy releases this album and then the fans don't accept it the way she's come to just talk about it? What exactly is going to happen? Because I'm like, easy now. She's spoken about how there's range. So if you're talking about an album that has range, there's something for the trenches, there's something for the cool guys. There's like everything is there's range. But I'm like, oh, madam, why not take it easy? Because is this not like setting Burna Boy up already?
I don't feel like it's setting Burna Boy up. I mean, at the end of the day, you need these heavyweight Afrobeat commentators to actually be a part of your train.
Yeah.
So if somebody who's an authority like Gracie May comes out to start saying things like this, then it's actually like solid because I mean, you have Gracie May on your side saying and hyping an album up and saying the different things that people don't know about the album, but are willing and eager to know. And it's like, you know what? There's a small spark, but I'm throwing a little bit more petrol into it. Whatever excitement you feel in your belly, you need to amp that up right now because I'm surprised at what Burna Boy is doing. And she's actually breaking these things down in several pieces.
Yeah, she actually
so
did though.
Raising the excitement level for the project. And I feel like it's actually smart and sound.
Yeah.
Whether she's paid by the Burna Boy camp, that is nobody's business. But at the end of the day, this is what fans want to see and these are things they want to hear. What is this album about? And she's giving us a scoop into it, into the possible collaborations, the possible genres, and like she said, the range of the album. There's something for the trenches, there's something for the calm people. You're gonna see Burna Boy in a different light. And all of this is what? Anticipation to the album. And they said a secret location, but we were still able to get a few bits and pieces out of it. And she said, she talked about how very tight the whole organization, organization for that event was. At some point they had to take their phones not to get, pictures or whatever, which is very typical, for every major listening event. So I feel like the outsiders should be really excited for what's coming from Burna Boy. And I feel like it is just something that just really just puts some bit of a heat into the whole Afrobeat space. And because there's a heavyweight dropping, Burna Boy is a heavyweight. And people want to see a different Burna Boy. People want to see and experience the album. People want to say, okay, is this album going to be tour worthy? After the album drops, when he announces the whole tour and everything, am I going to be able to dig money out of my Osusu, dig money inside my OP and Pampe to say, my piggy vest, say, I'm going to buy a Burna Boy ticket because of how beautiful this album is. So all the hype around the album is actually very, very worthy. And I actually really, really love it for Burna Boy. And I really hope, because I don't know, because Burna Boy is just full of surprises, but I hope that, it just really, really matches, the energy that, Gracie May has.
Really high, man. Like, really, really high.
Really high,
and then looking at the clips that she shared,
yeah.
I saw a particular reaction. I was like, oh, so this is it? I thought it was going to be something extraordinary. And so when you saw the clips and how, the whole listening party went, at least from what she shared, did you think that were you expecting more, or this is too less of a listening party?
Sugar, so the thing about this is we will never actually take out the conversation of the OPPS. The ops will definitely be there. And in any setting or any circle, there's one person ready to sell the other person for 30 pieces of silver. So there's everybody trying to sneak into every fan base to see what's happening. I can tell you for free that in an FC group, there could be like a few 30 BGs that are undercover. So, I mean, these things happen. Whatever it is, people will also try to water down the other person to be able to shine forth the people that they support. So, I mean, the game is dog eat dog. So, at the end of the day, but what I saw, I'm not going to judge. I can't say it's going to be a brilliant album, but with the intentionality behind the release for the project, I'm quite pleased and quite excited. It's still the early days. And we're going to definitely get a date, a track list, and all of that stuff going to come definitely. But I can say for a fact that with the energy and the air around the Burna Boy camp, you could say something that they're super, super proud of, and I cannot wait. So all that negative comment definitely will come. I say, if you not talk bad about you, be a better person now, be anything at all. So, but one thing I just really don't want to see is a lot of chaos and kata kata. But Sugar, come on, it's Afrobeat.
It's Afrobeat, exactly.
What's an Afrobeat space without
the
chaos?
We already even have a kata ranger. We have a the black in the scene already.
Exactly.
So what are we saying? We definitely need to expect that chaos. Like, let's just anticipate it, so we won't be surprised.
Exactly.
So we won't be caught off guard now.
Exactly.
Yeah.